Hey everyone, it's Kamashov here, and I just wanted to take you through some of the sound design and other stuff I've been doing in Wwise recently for a game jam that's kind of becoming its own thing. It's a pretty small game where you play as a wizard or a warlock of some description, going out into the town, wreaking havoc, and using the townspeople's souls to summon any number of creatures. So, yeah, I just wanted to take you through some of the events, the sound design, kind of how they're set up with the layers and stuff, and the interactive music hierarchy, how it works with the game states and stuff, and just kind of give you a look at how I approach doing music for games at the moment. Yeah, so we'll go through the sound design. So obviously we'll start with the user interface, some really simple stuff. Basic button presses whenever you click something on the menu. And you'll see this a lot over here in the contents editor, what layers these sounds are made up of. So this one's made up of a salt shaker in a random container. So it's this random container is picking between these two sounds, which one's going to play. And then the whole thing in general is getting some extra pitch and volume modulation on top. So you're never really hearing the exact same sound twice, but because there's only two layers and the modulation itself isn't too, I mean, you're barely going to tell with something like that. But yeah, I didn't want to make it too crazy. And I would have had more layers, but with the trial version of Wwise, you can only have up to 200 different assets going on, so I had to cut down a lot of them. This would have had way more layers, but it's actually not so bad. So yeah, you're hearing this, and you're hearing this, and at the same time, all together in the event, you get that. And that's kind of the same principle throughout all of these sounds. You got whenever you open a book to summon something, again, random containers picking between sounds, combining them. I'll just kind of breeze through some of these. So you got footsteps, pretty simple. Attacking. This has a couple of extra things going on with the effects. Now for some of the monsters, whenever you summon something, this has a few different things going on as well. In this one, we've got growls, more salt shakers. That is, I think, a mop or it's a jar of goo. It could I think it's a combination of the two, to be honest with you. It could also be a little bit from when I smushed some watermelons. And there's some soul sounds in there tied all together. And I'll just play through some of the other ones. That cat needs to be quiet. Stop it. We got some skeleton sounds. The skeleton ones are still a work in progress. But we've got, what do we got in here? We got that's a mixture of dice and maybe shaking a pencil case. That is, I don't remember what I was swinging. Something, maybe a coat hanger. So yeah, obviously all of these sounds were recorded by myself. Some of them went through some touching up in Logic. That cat, however, is very real and very annoying. Please move. Please. Oh, don't do this to me. Okay. Let's continue. We got, I mean, you kind of get the picture there. So that's the sound design. Those should be in blend containers, not whatever that is. But yes, I'm kind of a beginner with Wwise, so if there are any big Wwise heads out there, you know, don't make fun of me, because I'm still learning. But I don't think it really needs to be any more complicated than that, really. The more interesting stuff comes in with the states and with the interactive music hierarchy, so we'll take a look at that. So what we're dealing with here is, obviously when I'm doing music that I want to be interactive or I want to evolve, one of the things I like so much about doing music for game is that it's it doesn't have to be the same every time. And a lot of the time in games, whether you're walking around in a field, doing exploration, or getting into combat, the state of the game can happen like that. And you need the music, I mean, maybe not in all games, but if you can, it's nice to have the music adapt to what the player is doing. It's not like a film where it's the same way all the way through. And to do that, Wwise is amazing. So at the moment, we're looking at, in terms of states, whether the player is alive or dead, his wanted status. So there's kind of a notoriety system in the game, which is based on how many things you have summoned and how much chaos you're causing. And we have a couple of other parameters, like how many allies you have summoned, up to a maximum of 30 right now, and how much health you have. And the changing of these parameters in these states can impact the way that the music is played back. So I'll open up the Soundcaster and I'll show you an example. We've got, we'll set it to player alive, wanted status 0 to 2, and this is how many allies you have, and we can actually listen to live how the whole thing is going to progress when you're playing it. I won't talk much through this, so you'll just have to watch me change these settings, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, here we go. Let's take this. Yep. So you start summoning boys now. A couple more layers. There we go. So that's kind of just a basic look at how that works. I could sort of go into more detail, going into the, where is it? You can actually see the states here, and how they work together. And we've even got, like, all the stems together. Each stem has an RTPC set up on it, for, give me the, here we go. Or at least it should. that's how this whole thing works. Oh no, we're in dead. There's no RTPCs in dead, but in the wanted layers there are. So these RTPCs decide how things fade in. Here we go. Based on how many allies you have at any given time. The wanted level can go up, but I don't think it can go down. So I needed a way to increase the intensity of the music based on the wanted level, but there is always the chance that you get to like the highest wanted level, but then you're losing all your guys, and the music needed to be able to change that way as well. So it's kind of this constant push and pull with the intensity of the music, with vertical layering of stacking stems on top of each other and introducing new layers, but then also horizontal layering of like adding new sections of music to loop. Yeah, so that's kind of what I got so far. And I just wanted to show off some of the sound design and work I've been doing there. If there are any questions, I can do my best to answer them. But like I said, I'm still learning Wwise. This is kind of my first time using it properly. But thank you for watching.